Do you want to know about Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant and how to switch to the right half? Then stick till the end of this video. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you doing today? I am doing fantastic. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today I want to talk to you about Bob Kiyosaki. This is one of my role models, mentors, great guy, expert in finance and personal finance. And he had a book that came out in '98, and that was called the Cashflow Quadrant. And this is a book that came out more than 20 years ago, but is still as relevant today as it was back then. And I want to explain a little bit about the context here before we get into the nitty-gritty and give you ideas about how to switch to the right half. So there are 4 quadrants according to Bob Kiyosaki. And remember, that book, the Cashflow Quadrant, came in '98, and it was a year earlier than the Rich Dad Poor Dad book that made him very, very successful. That book came out in '97. The thing here is that there are 4 cash flow quadrants. As you can see here on the screen, we're just putting on the screen so you can see what we're talking about here. So he has, according to Bob Kiyosaki, there are 4 types of people in our society. You have the E's, the employees; the S, the self-employed; the B, the business owners; and the I, the investors. So if you are an employee, and this is the majority of us, the majority of people, I'm talking 80% of people, you have a job. So you have no leverage because you actually you bargain your time for money. So you're getting paid to do a work. You go to work 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, and then every month or every quarter, every 2 weeks or every week or every month, you get paid. That's the status of an employee. That's the E. And then you move to the bottom left, you have the S. So the S is basically somebody who is self-employed. So you create a job. Again, here you have no leverage. You make slightly more money. But if you are in the self-employed category, you cannot take a vacation. You're working 24/7 because your business has to survive. Even though you're making a lot of money, you're working a lot longer. This is a situation where people who actually quit their job and start a business, they realize they have less time now that they are their own boss than they used to be. They used to have when they were employees, when they had a 9 to 5, because there are more responsibilities. So that's the S. And then you move to the top right part. You have a business owner. Business owner, that means that people work for you. The big business, not a small business owner, big business owner. People work for you. You do have leverage. So everybody on the right side, on the right half of the quadrant, has leverage. And this is what I'm going to tell you today, how to move to that right half. So when you're a business owner, you actually have leverage. In other words, you have people, and the more people you have, the more money you make. Those are the CEOs or the big business owners or the private business owners that we have in the country, the biggies. And then the 4th category, that's the investor. So the investor, that's kind of really interesting if you think about it, because money works for you, not people, not a job you created. No, money works for you, and you have passive income, so you can chill, relax, be somewhere in Acapulco. Money is still working for you. So the thing here is that, which category are you in currently? As I said earlier in my preface, 80%, 75%, 80% from people, 80% of people actually are in the employee category. Maybe 10% are the self-employed, another 5% are the business owners, and you have like another 7%, and then you have 3% or 2% are in the investor category. So the question here is that you got to ask yourself, how do you move to the right side of the Rich Dad's cash flow quadrant? This is where you find big business owners and investors. So I'm going to give you a checklist, a step-by-step that you can implement today, starting today, that will help you switch to the right half, become either a big business owner or an investor. You can actually have those two titles. You can be a big business owner and an investor, right? So number one, the first thing you have to do is that if you want to switch to if you want to become a big business owner, that means you currently have a small business, because it's kind of hard this is logic, right? You're not going to switch right away from being an employee, going to work 9 to 5 to becoming a big industry player. It doesn't work that way. To become an industry captain, you first have to prove yourself at a lower level as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur. So I'm speaking right now to entrepreneurs. I'm speaking right now to small business owners who wants to boost their company, who wants to expand, who wants to be able to grow and be in the category of a big business owner, and eventually to become an investor. So the first thing you need to do is you need to create a powerful vision board for your small business. What is a vision board? A vision board is a visualization tool which refers to a board of any sort used to build a collage of words and pictures that represent your goals and dreams. Very simple as that. When you close your eyes, you want to epitomize, you want to materialize what you see. You want to tell the whole world what you're dreaming of. A visual board is way above a dream though, because you see this every day. You want to be able to work it out. You want to bring it into reality. So you can even buy a visual board from a professional supplier or made with cork or poster boards. It depends on you. So you want to place visual representations of your goals into one space so you can easily visualize them frequently, remembering to look at them daily and imagine them as if they have already come true. That's one of the best ways to activate something called the law of attraction, the LOA. You need to place the vision board, because here we're talking about your business, not just yourself. You need to place your vision board in a prominent place at work, so all of your employees can see it. People can be motivated so they can reach their goals and your goals and the company's goals. You want to do this so they can visualize things, to visualize your ideal life, your ideal goals, your ideal business situation on a regular basis. Regularity is key here. Regularity, consistency, those are the parameters, those are the ingredients of success. Those are the things that will help you switch to the right half of the quadrant. Next, after having a vision board, you need to set goals. Your small business will not grow, at least at the rate you want it to, if you don't have goals and a plan to reach them. You got to have a goal. The third thing you want to do is you want to put the focus on customer service. You want to put a focus on customer service. I'll give you an example. Take a company as huge as Amazon. From Jeff Bezos himself, he said, we are customer centric. We are focusing on client experience. We are focusing on client satisfaction. This is what you have to do too. You have to do that. If you want to retain desirable clients, you need to make sure you focus on them. And by doing that, you are basically laying the foundation of continued success of your small business. The next thing you need to do if you want to switch to the right half of Bob Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant is to learn to delegate. So whether you have employees, subcontractors, or family pitching in, learning how to delegate effectively can make the difference between reaching new heights or burning out. So many small business owners, unfortunately, they are used to doing things their way. They're used to doing things themselves instead of enlisting the help of others. You want somebody to back you up. Don't burn out. If you don't get a backup, you're gonna burn out. You're not a robot. You're a human. All right. You have metabolism. You have flesh and blood. You have stuff going on. So you have to request help. So because if you don't have it, it could be challenging to identify the task you don't need to do yourself and assign the work to someone else. So once you have overcome the challenge, though, you will have more time to dedicate to what you do best. Grow your business. That's what you want. You want to stay current with technology. If you want to grow your business and switch to the right half, either by becoming a big business owner or becoming an investor, a full-time investor, that is, you have to make sure that you understand technology. Technology plays a role in every business. So all small business owners can benefit from not only having an understanding of the technology that impacts them directly, but also keeping track of how it changes. So there are two things: understand and monitor. So keeping up with new and changing technology can help your small business make better decisions, and it can help you save money, time, and other resources. You also want to think about reinvesting in the business. If your goal right now, if you're listening to me, if your goal is to grow the business, to boost its operational base, to expand, you need to reinvest the money. You don't take it as dividends, or don't distribute it as dividends or as owner's draw. You want to put the money right back in it. Understandably, though, a lot of business owners pull money out of the business to pay themselves. When the business is experiencing success, the owner might be tempted to take a significant amount out as a reward for his or her hard work. In most cases, this money will be better spent on the business, to hire or retain top talent, for example, improve training, or invest in inventory. So by keeping the money in the business, the rewards for the business owner could be exponentially greater down the road. And this is what Amazon's Jeff Bezos has done extraordinarily well. When Amazon was growing 24 years ago, 25 years ago, he was putting all the cash back into the business. He was putting everything. He was putting more and more and more cash into the business. And look where he is today. It's just amazing. You also want to think about your human capital. You need to prioritize your team. You need to prioritize your employees. What I'm talking about here is that you have to pay them very well. You want to pay your employees, take care of them. We actually have a show around that, how to make sure that you are a beloved boss, and you want to take care of your employee. So the thing is that you have to acknowledge that you can't do it all. So if you want to grow, you need to bring in the right team. You need to understand how to motivate them. You need to understand how to pay them and how to retain them, right? So you have the BRM, the BMR rather. You have to bring them in, hire them. You need to actually motivate them while they're there working with you. And you need now to retain them to make sure they're not leaving after a few days or weeks or months. Because by then you would have invested a lot of time, energy, training, and money into them. You also want to commit to serious learning. This is important. If you want to grow, you need to also grow your intellectual base. You need to increase your IQ and EQ. EQ stands for emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. So you should understand that no matter how much you achieve, there will always be more to be learned and applied for even greater success. So even if you don't have the time or desire to learn from a traditional classroom setting, there are various ways you can advance your knowledge and routine and improve your routine by learning so your business can continue to thrive. So continuous learning can take the form of online training, for example, self-paced programs, collaborative opportunities, mentoring, and even reading. You also want to increase your productivity. If your goal is to switch to the right half, if your goal is to become a big business owner or an investor, professional investor, then you need to increase your productivity. Some of what you do as a small business owner will be routine. There are a variety of daily tasks that will need to be accomplished to keep your business running smoothly. But the more effective you are when it comes to completing the day-to-day business management task, I'm talking about the one that you don't delegate, that is, the more potential your small business has for greater success. And you can boost your productivity by developing software or having someone develop software, systems, and processes to streamline your operations. I'll be right back right after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We're also having a conversation today around Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant, a wonderful book, a seminal book that was published in 1998. And we are basing today's conversation around that, and we're trying to show you how to switch to the right half. And the right half is where you have investors and big business owners. So the next thing you want to do is to keep the cash flowing. So growth can put a strain on cash flow, and that's why many businesses wait while attempting to grow. But it is important to have a robust cash flow before attempting any kind of expansion. I get it. During your growth phase, Be sure to forecast and monitor cash flow diligently. So you can also get a small business loan to ensure that cash flows are coming smoothly when inevitable challenges present themselves. You can also increase your business size and move into the big business category by joining forces with a larger partner, right? You can merge. You can merge. For example, why reinvent the wheel? Small businesses can often take advantage. They can take advantage of partnering with a larger, more established business, especially when they're ready to scale. So big companies have the footprint and resources required for growth, including manufacturing facilities, distribution channels, and a proven supply chain. So this might be kind of tough, though. Don't get me wrong. This is not easy peasy. It's not. It might be tough to negotiate with larger partners, but they can be enticed. They can be interested if you do the right pitch. If you are able to sell, if you're able to bring people on board to kind of help you. If you want to grow in the long run, you have to diversify. This is a no-brainer. You have to diversify. Simple as that. So if you focus only on one product, your business growth is already limited. So by diversifying your product line, you open up new revenue streams that can boost your company. So just be sure that your primary products are successful and selling well before you concentrate on something new, as you don't want to spread your resources too thin. And even that, you don't want to cannibalize your more successful products. So you can be successful, but you will not experience much growth if you only focus on one product. Remember, if I give you an example of a Coca-Cola or Amazon, Coca-Cola doesn't just sell soda in red cans. It also sells juice, sports drinks, and bottled water. Apple, for example, manufactures what? MP3 players, right? Phones and tablets. So these are examples of major corporations that grew due in large part to the diversity of the products. Other things you can do also in terms of switching to the right side of the Bob Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant is to expand. So you have a goal and a diverse range of products and or services. The next step is to grow the business vertically or horizontally. So you'll need a capital to follow through with expansion, especially when it comes to financing. So if you don't have the money, then I think that's okay. So lenders will want to see, if you want to go with a lender, you want to apply to a lender, then lenders will want to see in both the businesses and revenues and net worth. Expansion most often involves opening new locations, for example. So you will start with a single new location in an area you have identified in your business plan as profitable and accessible. So once that location is stable and successful, guess what? You can now expand to another location, then another, and so on and so forth. So you can also license your product to be sold at other retailers. So this will help your profit and exposure, very important, and it will also allow you to open more locations. If you want to grow and switch to the right half of the quadrant, the Bob Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, you also need to orchestrate an acquisition. You have to orchestrate a merger or acquisition. So your business can buy another company, or it can join forces with a competitor, for example. And you can do this on a temporary basis or on a full-time basis, on a permanent basis. You also want to start thinking about boosting your marketing activities. So if you want your small business to be, let's say, to be on the front page of Forbes or Fortune magazine or Entrepreneur, you need to boost your marketing activities. One thing I also want to say here is that it's the most successful small businesses are willing to explore new outlets of online marketing, digital marketing, SEO marketing, and they're trying to do this in combination with their offline marketing activities. And what they're doing is they're trying to see which avenue, which strategy is more effective. And you should do the same thing. I'm not saying just stop doing your offline marketing. No, you can have a hybrid strategy where you have both processes working hand to hand. All right, folks. this is it for today's conversation. I was just showing you, I was having a discussion with you around Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant and how to switch to the right half permanently and sustainably. I will talk to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.